The night was heavy with tension, the kind that settles in your chest and makes every breath feel like a calculated risk. Captain Laila Thompson, decorated black veteran, stood at the edge of the abandoned lot, her hands steady, despite the storm of adrenaline coursing through her veins. The brutal cops surrounding her had no idea who they were really facing. They saw only an older woman, quiet, composed, and seemingly fragile. That perception would be their first mistake. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're rewatching from. I love knowing who is listening. For years, Laila had served in the military with precision, courage, and unyielding discipline. She had faced enemies on foreign soil, led operations under fire, and survived situations most people couldn't imagine. Yet here she was, off duty, confronting a different kind of battle, one born not from war zones, but from blind authority and brutality. The officers were confident, arrogant, and unaware that the true danger wasn't in their hands. It was in hers. The air smelled of rain-soaked asphalt and the faint metallic temps of fear. Laila's eyes scanned the surroundings, noting the reflections in puddles, the faint shadows along the walls, the distant hum of traffic. Every detail mattered. The officers barked orders, expecting compliance, expecting submission. They had no idea how carefully trained instincts could disguise strength beneath a veneer of apparent weakness. The first shove came without warning. Laila staggered slightly, letting it appear as if she had been caught off guard. Her heart thumped, but her mind was a calm, precise machine. She let them think she was broken, intimidated, vulnerable. The murmurs of the onlooking crowd were faint but persistent, a tide of curiosity and unease. Every footstep, every whispered speculation fed into the tension, making the moments stretch taut with suspense. She remembered her training, the discipline of the mind over the body, of patience over rash action. The moral tension weighed heavily. Strike too soon, and the scene would spiral out of control. Wait too long, and she risked exposing herself before achieving justice. Laila chose the path of observation, using every second to analyze, to understand, and to turn the encounter to her advantage. The cops pressed, thinking they were asserting dominance. One officer's hand brushed the edge of her coat, perhaps expecting compliance, perhaps intending intimidation. Laila's fingers curled subtly, not in threat, but in preparation. She drew in a quiet breath, letting the cool night air sharpen her senses. The world narrowed. Every sound, the distant siren, the scuff of boots, the faint whistle of wind became a signal, a tool for timing. Then came the moment of revelation. With measured calm, Laila produced a folder, placing it on the hood of a patrol car. She opened it, slowly, deliberately, revealing photographs, reports, and evidence of the very corruption and criminal activity the officers had been ignoring. Murmurs rose from the bystanders as realization dawned. The real enemy was not her, but the hidden wrongs these officers had been turning a blind eye to. Shock replaced aggression. The officers' stance faltered. For the first time, they were unsure. The once dominant aura of power had shifted. Laila had handed them a mirror, forcing them to confront their failures. The crowd's reaction intensified a mix of awe, relief, and disbelief. Whispered speculations spread like wildfire. This was no ordinary woman.
Ow.
This was a strategist, a veteran, a force who had been underestimated at every turn. Laila's voice broke the silence, calm, authoritative, and commanding. The enemy isn't me. The enemy is the corruption, the abuse of power, the lies you've ignored. Face it, correct it, or history will remember you as complicit. The words landed like stones in a still pond, rippling outward, impossible to ignore. The moral tension lingered. Could the officers act with integrity now, after years of turning a blind eye? Could justice, long delayed, finally manifest because a single, brave individual refused to be intimidated? Laila watched them, her expression neutral, allowing the weight of their conscience to settle. Minutes passed. The officers slowly lowered their hands. Their faces were a mixture of guilt, recognition, and awe. Laila hadn't needed to raise a hand in anger. She had used patience, intelligence, and moral authority to expose the real threat. The storm that had been brimming over them dissipated, replaced by a tentative respect. Finally, she stepped back, her calm composure unbroken. The night seemed lighter, the rain gentler, as if acknowledging the resolution. The bystanders whispered. Some clapped softly, others filmed discreetly. But all understood they had witnessed more than courage. They had witnessed strategy, wisdom, and the quiet power of experience. Because kindness doesn't vanish, it waits, and it finds its way back. As Laila walked away from the patrol car, the folder under her arm, she understood the profound lesson of the evening. True strength often hides beneath the guise of vulnerability. Courage is measured not in violence, but in restraint, clarity, and the ability to turn danger into revelation. The legendary veteran had outmaneuvered not with force, but with intelligence and integrity. In that shadowed lot, beneath flickering streetlights and the soft drizzle of rain, Laila Thompson reminded everyone that appearances deceive. Strength is silent, and justice is earned by those willing to confront the real enemies with courage and patience. Thank you for listening. If this story inspired you, share your thoughts below. Subscribe for more cinematic, suspenseful, and empowering storytelling from Cinematic Whispers. And remember, your voice matters.